their match against Team 6, making Team 6 1-1. Team Heroes also is 1-1. This was the final matchup of the day originally on our calendar. Team 6 actually had a higher map differential because of how competitive they were against Team Mirage, winning 6 rounds earlier in the day. And so therefore Team 6 will start on Defender's side. They got the first ban. We, as you can tell, we are now on Bind, and that was because there were a split and Haven ban from each respective side. Team 6 banning Haven, Team Heroes banning Split. And now this is the deciding match. Whoever wins this match will be going into the playoff as the second seed, meeting whoever the first seed is in Group B. My name is Jacob Wolf. I am joined by Kevin Nake. How's it going, Kevin? Good to be back on the cast with you.
I'm sure that Tyler's feeling that that Team Rift pick right about now after that, unfortunately. But it's okay. We're into the game now, and we were talking. This should theoretically be the closest game. I would give the edge right now, given that they were able to pull 6 rounds off of Team Mirage to Team 6 at the moment. But the Heroes team showed us a couple of moments where they maybe have capability to steal some rounds here. But I just hope we get a close match. It's been a lot of blowouts today. Emongg steals the first kill of the match.
Yeah, we did see earlier that Team Heroes was very dominant over Team Rift, and obviously we did not get to see Team 6 versus Team Rift, so we don't really know how to gauge that. Obviously both lost to Team Mirage, but we see Necrox and Rampy getting these kills. Rampy with a second, and now it is a 3v1 for Team 6 on the pistol round.
Yeah, that was a really good movement there from Team 6 off to the side. They're up 3-1 now. They should be able to close this out pretty. We haven't really taken a look at the cut, by the way, so Team 6 going to be playing that Breach, Sage, Omen, Cypher, and Brimstone combination. On the other side, just swap out a couple of those. You have Jet, Brimstone, Sova, Breach, and Sage, so plenty of disruption for both teams. Gale comes in, steals a kill. Canadian grabs one to swing things back in their favor, and that takes the round. Pistols go over to Team 6. We're going to go into round 2 now.
Yeah, Team 6 here had a very more competitive than I would say we anticipated against Team Mirage. Obviously, Team Mirage was the giant here. They advanced. They will be the first seed in the semifinal, awaiting whoever comes out of Group B tomorrow. We saw Team 6 be able to take 6 rounds out of them, though, and sometimes even out-aim them, which is almost unfathomable with the Counter-Strike players that are in the tournament and how great they are at this game. But we see Team 6 here by mostly an SMG and a Bulldog loadout versus Team Heroes, who will be playing with pistols again after losing the first round. We see Team Heroes pushing up a B mid. Will they push into the site? They definitely have to do this fast, though, if they want to do anything with these pistols.
They were stacking on A, but decided to slow push over towards B. Now going to feint back towards A. One thing I'm going to call out, though, is I was curious when they got into serious matches how Team Heroes' composition would change. And they do have vision now in the form of Sova. They still don't have a Cypher, I want to point out there, but their composition looks a little bit more standard than it did in their match against Team Rift.
Kephrii staying with the Jet, obviously. We saw him end out the game against Team Rift on that Jet, in which he dropped down over the top of Shifter. But we see a flash here onto Gale. This Breach from Team 6 really doing his job. And we see them trying to make an A push, but they continually just get slowed down by Team 6. They've got about 30 seconds to get a plant down if they want to do so, if they don't frag this out. But we see Rampy just open up with the Bulldog. 3 kills in a row, whips out his pistol, gets a 4th, and NVK says enough, and there is a flawless round in round 2 for Team 6.
Yeah, that was pretty gross. They were just slowed down for so long that it bought all the time in the world for Rampy to set up and get in position, and he did have the gun advantage going into that at the moment. Only one who decided to opt for that Bulldog. Everyone else was on Spectres going into it. So he opens up, gets the easy 4 kills there, and puts his team in a huge advantage here. It's, I mean, of course, the economy's pretty good, though, still, for Team Heroes, though. They haven't sacrificed that much. They knew they were walking into the fire there on the econ. Quick kill from Gale to open up the match. Pushes back Thinkingnade. Looks like he's going to go ahead and wall this off for the time being. But otherwise, just a strong B push coming in here from Heroes.
You know, we saw earlier in the match against Team Mirage that Rampy was the one player on Team 6 who really was a difference maker in the rounds that they won. So we'll see if we see the same from here. But for Emongg, he's getting some good entries on 2B site. This looks like this may be the first time Team Heroes is able to make a plant. But Rampy thinks otherwise. It is using this breach to try to clear them out. Boostio and Kephrii, though, make short work of it. And in the round, Team Heroes finally getting around back on the third round that they were able to buy. And now we will see, with guns evened out across the board, can this be as competitive of a match as we think it will be?
That was a great round from Heroes there. I mean, they really confidently went in and snapped up the quick 4 kills to start that off. I was a little worried for a while with how slow they were playing. It seemed like they were playing into the more slow, tactical pace of what 6 was trying to do this game. But they rush right in. They end up getting a couple of opening kills, and that leads to a quick catapulted victory. So I hope they do something similar, although instead of stacking A or B, we do have a split push going on. 3 on A at the moment. 2 we're moving towards B, but it doesn't look like they're going to try and push past the Cypher camera. They're going to rotate back around towards mid and try and hit towards A short there.
We see Rampy, truly the MVP of this Team 6 team so far this tournament. Holding, waiting to get a flash off. Didn't hit anyone in the bathrooms. You see Kephrii holding back. Just keeps trying it. That one, that ultimate should level the opponent, but it doesn't matter. Boostio's breach was the better breach in that situation. Here comes Gale, pushing out of bathrooms. What they don't see is in the back is a Sage sitting in heaven. So they need to be careful here, but they do get onto site. Team Heroes is going to get the plant. And now it's up to Team 6 to decide whether they're going to save or retake. And it looks like it will be a retake, or it will be a save, sorry, here from Canadian, as it is 1 versus 5 for him.
I got hopeful when you said that, though. I was like, yeah, bring on the 1v5. Let's do this. Just push in and push to your heart's content, Canadian. But no, of course. He'll sit back. We're going to go to 2 and 2. But unfortunately, that means the economy for Team 6 is going to be wiped out at this point. So they've lost some momentum in this round. And I got to say, this is a really confident Heroes. I was worried after the first couple of rounds. Granted, it's just a pistol win and then the follow-up afterwards. But that slow style of play seemed to be exactly what Team 6 was looking for. But Heroes is looking good and winning some big fat gunfights right now. So I'm actually optimistic about their chances here.
Yeah, it was definitely one-sided earlier when we saw these other teams both play Team Mirage. It's kind of nice to see them be competitive with one another. Obviously, we see here that Rampy is having quite another good game himself. Boostio as well. The Breach is leading the charge. But on each side here, we will see who can truly be the better, whether that will be a Rainbow Six team or an Overwatch team from Team 6 or Team Heroes.
Yeah, but I'm just glad we got a good competitive match that's going on at the moment. Not much of a buy. Team 6. We have 1 rifle that was sitting from Canadian's previous save. Other than that, it's a handful of pistols to go around, a Sheriff, Ghost, Frenzy. But they're just going to pray and hope that they can run in the B site here, get a couple of quick kills, and somehow manage to stop the replay. But they're going to have to win a couple of fights real quickly. And Necrox is sneaking up right now. Thinkingnade does get the kill, but Necrox is right behind.
Use that 3-man flank here, followed by a kill by Necrox. 3-man flank from Team 6. Close them out. They do have the spike now. Gale does get a 1 return frag for Team Heroes. But now we see a 4v3 situation in which their spike is down and Team 6 has full control over B and the spike. Can Team Heroes bounce back and try to do something here? We will see.
Well, at this point, they're actually outgunned now, so they can't really just push in or try to exploit anything. They've got to try and get a pick as they slowly start pushing around the side. Here comes the Breach ultimate, though. Rampy takes out his counterpart on the other side. Necrox follows up with 1 more, and it's a 4v1. Oh no! Teleports up top directly into Kephree's sights, though, so Kephrii snags 1 back, but it's going to be awfully difficult to win this 1v3.
We said earlier in the day that we thought that if Jet was going to get played, it was likely going to be played by someone who played Overwatch, that understood the ability usage and really honed in on that. And Kephrii has definitely made some highlight plays against Team Rift and against some plays, or highlight plays now here in this match, but it's just not enough. See the thrifty across the board because Team 6 barely spent prior to winning that round, but now it is a 3-2. Team 6 with a slight advantage here, but this is certainly the most competitive game we've had all day, and it's for all the marbles. So the winner advances to the second seed in the semifinals. I'm going to make a probably not so hot prediction that they will face probably Team Dev tomorrow, or on Wednesday is my thought. Team Dev is projected to be the #1 seed coming out of tomorrow's Group B, which includes Team Llama, who are a set of Fortnite players, Team Battlegrounds, who are a set of PUBG players, Team Canyon, which are a set of Apex Legends players, and Team Dev themselves are the developers of Valorant, which is comprised of many first-person shooter pros. And obviously have played in the games they have played, have done quite well for themselves. So we see here Team Heroes trying to determine what they want to do. We see them sort of hovering around A mid. Do you see Kephrii there sitting in bathrooms, or right outside of bathrooms in that corner? Playing really slow here against Team 6 after being fragged early and being down 4-5. Kephrii with the knives out. Will he be able to do anything here on this entry? Checking the corners.
I'm going to give a lot of credit, though, to Rampy here, who's not just playing well with Breach in terms of just winning his fights, but his ability usage has been on point here. He's directly won one round just from his fault line alone. Doesn't look like Kephrii's been able to make much happen with his ult. Brimstone throws down his ult off to the side. He's able to split the team. MVK picks up 2 kills very quickly, knocking down Emongg, but unfortunately, 2 more traded right back. Boostio taking out Rampy at the end, so Raid Boss down. Kephrii gets NVK. Just one player remaining.
Necrox with kill on the Boostio. We will see another 2v1 and very quickly over as Canadian ends that. Team 6 now 4-2.
So good couple of rounds here back-to-back from Team 6. And, you know, again, I got to give credit to Rampy here. I know, of course, specifically when you call out a player, that round isn't going to be spectacular from them, but his fault lines have been really good, and he's also been doing a great job with his flashpoints. It's been multiple times I've swapped to a few characters to watch him get just blinded out, and then it's really easy for 6 to sort of rotate around and get a couple of easy flank kills, which we've seen Necrox do pretty successfully a couple of times, actually. So overall, I think they're playing their composition extremely well at the moment.
I agree. Certainly Team Heroes needs to make work of this, better work of Boostio's Breach. It's not that he is playing poorly, but they have flashed themselves a number of times, and when they're moving into sight, and when you flash yourself, it's not so easy to get kills when you can't see anything. So certainly for Team Heroes, they need to be a little bit better about how they're using those abilities on their side of things. We do see that Gale has his Sova ultimate up. So we will see if he tries to do anything fancy with that, but they need to be able to get the vision to understand where they are at. And with no Cypher and with the recon drone down and the bolt not yet being used, it will be interesting to see if they're going to be able to get that vision. We see a rotation here through the teleporter and back around through mid, back towards the site. That gives them away. They did get Rampy and give him a flash, but they now know that he's here, and he calls for the rotation, and we see Team 6 rotating as 4 across to A site. Canadian Thinkingnade with frags, MVK with another, and now a 4v1 for Team 6.
Yeah, that rotation was just perfectly timed. MVK and Thinkingnade getting up to heaven right away and immediately picking off a couple members from Heroes that were coming in. Kephrii returns with a kill of his own, though, so he brings it down to a 3v1. There's not enough time to plant. Didn't even matter. Kephrii tried to round the corner, but Necrox takes his head off. And that's going to be a 5-2 advantage now for Team 6.
I certainly think that Team 6 could be competitive if, you know, the winner of this does get the second seed, and so it is likely they meet Team Dev come on Wednesday if everyone's predictions are correct. But I think that if we were ever to, you know, in the event that we had a third place match, I certainly think Team 6 could be competitive against any of the other 3 teams, Team Llama, Team Battlegrounds, or Team Canyon in the other group. I've been very impressed by this Team 6 squad. I think that they certainly have showed that they understand the game better than a lot of other people. We saw Team Rift get quite demolished throughout this Group A. But very impressive play from Team 6 to really sort of continue and have their Rainbow Six skills transfer from that game to this one.
Well, they've made Omen work pretty well, right? We've seen him a couple of times today, and it hasn't gone especially well, or the flanks haven't worked out super duper well, but it is actually working out this time. So Necrox has been able to pick up a couple of easy teleport kills. Like I said, they're using their composition really well in conjunction with Rampy to open up sites. They're going to need to do it again, though. I'm interested to see if Canadian can successfully make this flank happen here as he gets around the back of this stack on A point. Here comes Heroes, though, that go right into a flash from Boostio, who does a pretty good job. Kephrii steals the first kill. And after that resurrection, put him back to 5v5, but immediately Canadian snags two. Necrox gets a third. There's Canadian's third of the match. It's a 3-1 advantage right now, and that's going to be all. Never mind. They're all dead. Another round in the bag for Team 6.
This Team 6 team looks incredibly coordinated in the way that you see that they rotate. Obviously, for those unfamiliar with with Rainbow Six in general, several of these players are on the reigning championship squad from the Six Invitational. You know, the Space Station Gaming crew, and some of them previously of Evil Geniuses as well, who recently let go of their R16, but it also played together. So these players look very coordinated. They seem like they're in sync, and that is likely because they play together elsewhere in Rainbow Six Siege as well. So the coordination definitely exudes from their aura, I guess, in a way that it does not from Team Heroes.
That's true, and they also look a lot more coordinated when they're not playing Team Mirage, I will point out, as most teams do. We'll see if they can make the leap, though, take it up to the next level to put a matchup against the devs, because that's a tough task at this point. I mean, a lot of people are still favoring the devs over Mirage, at least in the informal polls that I was taking. So who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us, but it's clearly got to be a step up from what we saw today. All the players from Heroes stacking over at A at the moment. There's the Brimstone ultimate coming in from NVK to stop him back for a moment. That allows the rest of the players to rotate over, and Thinkingnade is going to sit in heaven once again.
We see Canadian, the sole member of Team 6 over at Hookah on B, or near the B site. The call should be made that he should rotate, but right now he just has that camera up. We talked about cameras being in interesting positions. He was able to get it quite high up on the B site, and now is just looking to see if anybody else will rotate. But what he does not know is they are all in bathrooms on the A site. And now we see a breach ultimate. Team Heroes trying to make a push here. Flashes in. Kephrii gets a nice shot with that Sheriff on the MVK. Whether they can make this push in and plant, they have done so. But now it will be up to Rampy and Canadian to see if they can get a retake here for Team 6.
Well, when Rampy starts off that way, yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, and Gale decides to sit through the ult so he can be patient and take out their great ult. It did hit Gale, but it didn't pay off. So that's a 3-1 advantage now. Just Canadian, who does snag the first kill on Gale, but Kephrii cleans it up, and that's another round on the board for Team Heroes. Really well done there. You know, it's funny, during our rehearsal yesterday, I was kind of knocking a little bit the sheriff, just basically saying, well, you got a ghost, you've got short, he's got frenzies. If you have the right situation, why would you use it? But clearly right there, if you can pull off a couple of headshots, it's worth your time to invest into that pistol.
It's a high stopping power pistol, and it takes a special type of person to play with it, but it is very effective when used correctly. Now, what will Team Heroes do with that momentum they gained last round? That shouldn't have been their round. The Team 6 should have, in theory, had that with the way that they were playing early in it, but Team Heroes made it work.
And looks like they're going to stack A once again, although it's just Brimstone off to the right for now. Once again, though, immediately Thinkingnade picks up on this, starts to rotate back over to A. Gale snags a kill. It's a great opening there. And they're going to allow the rest of Heroes to start to push through. This aggressive style has been working for them, but gets 2 kills. Thinkingnade with the resurrection. Finally, Gale takes out Necrox, but not before it becomes a 4-3 advantage in favor of the defenders in Team 6.
We see a much earlier call to rotate this time rather than Canadian playing and seeing if anybody would change their minds and go to the other side. And that is the right call despite Gale's 3K. Easy work for Rampy and Thinkingnade. They will now get the defuse. And Team 6 up 7-3 now as we get closer to the end of the first half.
All right, so you know, I think we were hoping that this was going to be another sort of data point towards the tactical shooter folks having a little bit easier time transitioning over to this game. I'd love to see some more creative ability usage, but the more and more I watch, and I don't know if you're getting the same opinion, but it just feels like the smarter CS players, tactical shooters players, they'll figure out how to use the abilities, but it really does seem like it's coming down to those gun mechanics, at least this stage of the game.
Yeah, it certainly does. There have been times here where it's just very clear that like Canadian has very good aim and he's able to spray down multiple people at the same time using the Phantom. Impressive. Same from Rampy. We have seen similar. But we do see that the Gale gets a little bit of information here with that recon bolt from Team Heroes.
Stacking A once again. Already 4 members. 4 Team 6 have rotated over, so this Pete. Oh, here comes the ult from Brimstone, though. So a good opening. Thinkingnade steals a kill right away, though, on Brimstone. Right back. Gale manages to take out NVK. Rampy comes back, though, in a trade with Boostio. Another fight. Steals the 2 kill. Rampy once again showing that he has got control of the map. Up to 14 kills now for this round. Fault line gonna actually hit and disrupt his opponent, but is not able to get into a position to take advantage of it.
You know, I would not call Rampy our overall MVP. Certainly that goes to someone on Team Mirage, maybe AZK or Hiko, who were most consistent in the first 2 of their matches. Brax obviously had a fantastic 3rd match for them. But Rampy has been sort of the difference maker for Team 6. Even in the rounds that they won against Team Mirage, he was the one that was leading the way on that. He's been the same here, too. Clearly one of the better aimers and one of the better players in Valorant from Team 6. And we see him leading with 14, 8, and 4 as his KDA. Necrox not far behind, but everyone on Team 6 is doing their work right now and contributing as they should. It's impressive play from them as they take an 8-3 lead as we get into what will be the final round.
Yeah, you know, Rampy showed why he was so good at the aftershock in a way to just push Carter off to the side that exposed him immediately for the last kill of the match. So just those little things that he's doing to make sure that he's utilizing his character to the fullest. Kephrii steals a kill, though. Opens up the match with a quick one there. Everyone was stacking on A once again. Looks like Team Hero's going to use this as the opportunity to move in very quickly. Rampy's there to hold them back, though, with his fault line. Necrox cleans up a kill. Emongg answers back and takes him out, but Rampy is once again doing his thing. Snaps another kill. Gets a 3rd off to the side. Perfect ult, perfect response, perfect aim. Doesn't take a single shot in return. 3v2 right now. Make that a 3v1 as he's searching for the ace.
He knows where they are because of that Cypher ult. Just waiting. It's like a cat playing with its food, toying with the mouse. This is the position that Rampy sits in after cleaning up 4 of Team Heroes, and Carter just looking for something to do all by himself. He could rotate to B. He does have the spike, but at what cost? Does he think that he's going to fake out Team 6 and make them rotate? He kind of has successfully done so. Thinkingnade and Rampy pulling back, Thinkingnade rotating to B side just in case that's the case, but this will still be a 2v1 against Canadian Rampy for Carter.
Ooh, great pick, though. So now it's just a 1v1. Let's see if he can get the spike down. At least he can. Canadian's going hunting for a second, but he can't find him before the spike falls. There's the kill, though. That's going to get cleaned up. It's a 9-3 advantage for Team 6 heading into the half. So, pretty dominant so far from Team 6, I'd say, huh? What do you think? What do you think Heroes has to do now? I mean, they've got, you know, this is the side of the map that you want to be on, right? Want to be defending, likely to have a better chance from what we've seen so far. So hopefully they can string some rounds together to make this competitive. But thus far, Team 6 is just playing a lot more controlled, and they're playing around their characters better. We've been talking about Rampy this entire time, but Necrox has been doing great with his teleports. Canadian has consistently had vision off of B site and caught any rotations that come through. They're just playing a better game right now.
Certainly, I think now for Team Heroes is about really just not being aggressive. There, obviously, we talked about this earlier on defender side of this map. If you've not played a tactical shooter before, in the case of Team Heroes right now, although I do know Emongg and others have played Counter-Strike before, but if you are, you know, unpracticed in a tactical shooter, your immediate sort of gut feeling, if you play Call of Duty or whatever it may be, or Overwatch, is to play a little bit antsy when you are on defense. And you shouldn't. You should play very slow in this game. This game rewards patience in a way that Counter-Strike does, but many games do not. So we see Team Heroes 2 on A, 3 on B, and Team 6 is split 2, trying to decide what the best move will be here.
Yeah, but Team 6 is feeling pretty confident right now. They've got a really good hold on potential entry points at the moment. The rest of Heroes are starting to swing back over to A, but already Team 6 has picked up on it. 4 players have rotated over. It's really just Carter who's left. I'm sorry, apologize. That's Thinkingnade who is left over on the side. He falls down, though, to Emongg. 4 more players remaining now, just 3 as Heroes trying to push into the point. There's a pretty good kill. Gale gets one back, takes out Rampy. Boostio takes out Necrox as well. It's a 2v1 right now, as it's only Brimstone remaining, unfortunately, for the side of Rainbow Six, and not going to be enough.
You saw Carter trying to make that flank through the teleporter into bathrooms behind him, but Gale was able to take him out prior to even that being needed, and that's an important round for Team Heroes, as it's important here now that they get a little bit of momentum rolling, as now they are able to buy in a way that Team 6 is not. They want to make anything more competitive in this match. Only 4 more rounds needed for Team 6, and they will clutch this out. Team Heroes winning the pistol round on the defender side is very important for their momentum.
Oh, absolutely. But as we've seen several times today, just winning 2 rounds normally in other tactical shooters might be enough to put your opponents completely behind. It's not in this game, though. The economy is still going to be pretty good regardless, and they've got to keep winning even after that. Looks like Team 6 is going to stack B at the moment, though, and start to force their way through. And Rampy is flashed at the moment. He can't see anything, and that's actually going to... Teammate Thinkingnade. Rampy comes back and grabs the trade, but Gale is around to make sure that Rampy goes down. Kills going back and forth at the moment, but Team Heroes is still up by 1 right now. Carter picks off Necrox as well, so it's only Canadian who's remaining. And that's going to be it. Carter, actually, with the last kill there, so 2 rounds in a row. Only 4 rounds down now for Team Heroes.
Let's see if they can scale this back. I think for Team Heroes, they're doing the right things here in terms of the way that they're setting up. It just plague slow, waiting for it, waiting to see what Team 6 does. Team 6 has been split up. They've not really rushed all into a site other than that last round here and their first couple of rounds on the attack side. And we see them again sort of split up, sending MVK and Canadian over to A site just to try to get some information. And we see a push up here with Hookah. Boostio obviously takes Thinkingnade out. Necrox is trying to figure out where they're at. After the early kill sends Thinkingnade back behind the crate in B site. Gale trying to get some information here. We see a call for a rotation on Team 6 as everyone starts moving towards A site rather than B.
And plenty of money available after this for Team 6, but they have a healthy amount of guns right now as well. It's not like they're coming into this fight super shorthanded after those first 2 rounds there. So we'll see if they can try and make something happen here, because Team Heroes has still not completely realized that they've all rotated over to A, but Kephrii's in position to steal the first kill on Rampy, standing on top of those boxes that hates when it jets around. That can't happen. Necrox gets the kill on Emongg, but Kephrii, king of the box, just standing on top of this, jumps in from around. Oh, snap. The Canadian's there to finish him off. Just Canadian remaining, however. Gets the first kill, but Boostio jumps around the side, and that's 3 rounds in a row. The gap is closing between Heroes and Team 6.
MVK just did not check his angles going through bathrooms there because we saw in his POV that right to the left there was Kephrii sitting on top of that truck just waiting, and he did not check all of his angles, actually looked straight forward and instead just died and got punished because of it. So now Team 6 is in an interesting position where they have to make the choice of what they're going to do. Not with the best of economy, they have some, but certainly not the best all around. You see many pistols across the board for this team. Some sheriffs coming out. We talked about the sheriff earlier.
Yeah, I mean, they can certainly make something happen here. All pick off the Brimstone. They've got a pretty good entry point onto A. Everyone's rotating there right now. Breach going to make his way off to the right-hand side. Too long for a second. Might be able to pick off Jet if he can get the right peek or a flash off on him. Oh, but here they come, though. Three, though. Kephrii follows with fourth and fifth, and that did not last long. God bless you. You don't have much money. You try to push on in, but it doesn't work out, and all of a sudden, it's just 2 rounds that separate our teams.
You see truly the advantage of defender side here in terms of the way Team Heroes is playing. They looked a little shaky on the attacker side, and then they switch sides, and we magically see them come to life. So now the onus is on Team 6. They've lost a number of rounds in a row. Obviously, you see Rampy playing incredibly well. They will have a more or less full buy here, depending on what MVK does with his 3,700 economy. But we do see Vandals and Phantoms come out for Team 6. We see Gale now with an op. Scary man sitting there on A site, but it doesn't matter because Team 6 is stacking up on the B side of things at B long, and looks like they're going to push Hookah. And Rampy's the man. He's the one that needs to get these frags here based off the way he's been playing the entire game.
That's right, but Boostio's in position to potentially intercept this. Carter drops down the wall right away. From Rampy, it's not enough. Boostio steals 3, no 4. Necrox finally takes him out, but a great round from Boostio there. Gets his team a huge advantage, and it looks like we're going to be 9-8 in just a second.
Easy money for Team Heroes there.
I need a drop.
So this is a complete reversal. Now we talked. The defender side is going to have an advantage right now, especially on this map. But this has been lights out. When the roles were reversed, the Overwatch team was, Team Heroes, they were able to grab at least a couple of rounds and break things up in the middle. It's just been 5 straight rounds of dominance so far from Team Heroes.
And in the case of Team 6, we heard and we've spoken a little bit to Canadian that he's very motivated to do this. But for Team Heroes here, some of these players, we said earlier when we commentated their first match, some of these players truly want to be Valorant players. They may be known for their Overwatch careers, but they really want to be a part of the Valorant esports scene. So this is a good opportunity for them to show themselves. So this match is very important to them. No one's going to expect them to beat Counter-Strike pros overnight. At least in the short 2-week period or less that they've had this game. But in terms of Team 6, there's a little bit more of an opponent that they could potentially really take on, and they can do it here. Team Heroes. Good flash on the side of Team Heroes from Boostio. How will they follow up on that, though? We know the wall's broken. Boostio's just sitting there waiting for it.
And unfortunately, Boostio just went through his ult and really didn't get anything from it, unfortunately. Boostio does snack 2 kills, though. He's on fire. There's the third. Had to reload. NBK picks him off. NBK actually gets a second as well by taking a Carter off to the side. So a surprisingly even trade with how quickly Boostio had gotten out in front of that. Gale picks off NBK. It's just a 3v1 at the moment. And it looks like we may be tied up in just a second. There it is. And I want to call out that we've been mentioning the breach a lot up to this point. For both sides, actually. Boostio and Rampy have both had good games. They're leading in the scoreline right now for their teams. They've been making things happen with their utility. But I really want to give credit to Emongg for turning it on in the second half here. That Brimstone has been a lot more effective on defense than it was on offense. And he's really turned things around and has been able to choke players through pretty specific points where Boostio's just been able to mow them down. So pretty good work by the smoke of Emongg there.
Certainly see a better team composition here than we saw in their previous games, where it kind of just seemed like everyone was in a solo queue game playing their best characters. And now it seems like they are playing in a way you see with Brimstone and Sova and Breach and Sage even, but certainly in the first three, the fact that they really could combine to block out sites, get vision, understand where people are, layer ultimates, incredibly important for Team Heroes, and it's been part of how they've been able to come back in this from being down so heavily at the half. But now we see Team 6 stacking towards A, just trying to figure out where everyone is. Let's see if they make this push.
We want to remind everyone that whoever wins this match does move on in the group and secure second place. Once again, Kephrii sitting up high as he always does, likes to get those angles. It pays off. He takes out Necrox, gets the opening kill for his team. The rest of the players, 4-6, are trying to move in through the A site right now. And Emongg and Gale immediately pick up a couple of kills, but Carter and Emongg are ready to finish off the rest. That went from bad to worse in a split second there for Team 6. And for the first time in this match, they're actually down a round right now as it's 10-9 in favor of Team Heroes.
If you're Team 6, you got to be shaking a little bit right now because you had such a good lead that you've now blown, not being able to win around and consecutively in quite some time, but the opposite could be said for Heroes. On this momentum, look at those 10,000 plus credits on 3 of their different players. Impressive stuff from Team Heroes.
Yeah, 100%.
As we head into this.
I mean, we were talking about the slow pace of play, how Rainbow Six players were naturally suited to this. Team 6 had a great attacking, great defending phase and everything like that. And we knew, again, as we've called out a few times, that this map is defender favored. But there's defender favored, and then there's a complete stone wall, and that's what the Heroes team has been up to this point. I mean, all credit to them. They have performed incredibly well in this second half.
Right, and you just see them playing patient, just like Boostio is around this corner. See the same for Carter, who's playing in the crate, right behind the crate on B site. Now you see a rotation coming out from Gale after some of this noise was heard.
And Boostio had a 2-man flash there, but couldn't convert off of it. Gale and NVK trade. Carter ends up getting another kill as well. Emongg's ult takes out Necrox, and that push is destroyed. Just 2 players remaining for Team 6 now, just Rampy and Thinkingnade, and they're going to sit back for a second. I mean, maybe they try... Oh, okay, they are going to make a real push here. Rez comes up on Necrox, and everyone's going to make their way towards the A side for now.
They're sending in Rampy. He just dropped the spike. They're sending in Rampy to try to entry frag here. Whether he'll be successful, he has been the highest performer on Team 6, but they have been behind. They only have a few seconds to get this spike down. It takes 4.5 seconds to get it down in total. They do see the play. Rampy gets fragged out, but Thinkingnade getting the spike down. Now he's got to hold it 1v4, and that's really difficult. Kephrii says, no, sir. With the knives, kills Thinkingnade. Gets the defuse, passes it off to Carter just because he can. And now 11-9 for Team Heroes, 2 rounds away from closing this out. After Team 6 had so much momentum on the other side, it looked like they would be the one to do it. The ultimate comeback here from Team Heroes.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it was 9-3 just 8 rounds ago, but it's been a dominating performance for the hero side of things in this second half so far, as everyone had gone from not great score lines, let's be honest, to pretty impressive ones at the moment. Kephrii has had a lot of commitment to just sitting up on top of the boxes around A sites, and more often than not, it's really paid off for him. Even those times when it feels like 6 knows he's going to be up there and they try and get an angle on him or surprise him, it still doesn't work out and he's able to get an opening frag or 2. So it's paid off pretty well for him so far.
Just see Gale with this op waiting for someone to push through. Team 6 is undecided of where they will go. You see them sort of jostling between both A site and B site in that mid and spawn area. Looks like they'll be rotating everyone except Canadian over to A and looking to make an A push, but there's a brimstone smoke in their way from Emongg. And now they're just going to have to wait for the smoke to go down. But what they don't know is Emongg is right on the other side of it. And if he watches his angles right, although another smoke came down, he watched it right when that smoke came up. They are sitting right there, ready for him to pick.
NVK doesn't hit anyone with the ult. No one was sitting back there. And Kephrii and Gale pick up the first 2 kills as the rest of Team 6 try to push into the point. There's another one for Gale as he picks off Canadian. Necrox finally answers and takes him down, so the sniper's out of his hands, but it's still a 4-on-2 right now in favor of Team Heroes once again.
This is an important moment. You see Necrox with the teleport behind. He gets one. Thinkingnade gets another. He will get the plant. Necrox gets fragged, and now it's a 1v2 with Emongg on site and with Boostio on the rotation. How will this play out? He doesn't know that Emongg is right there in the lamps area. Really, he was sitting with his back turned to him, gets the frag. Thinkingnade almost does it, but it doesn't matter. Boostio does it, or Boostio gets the frag, and now is going to be a 12-9 lead for Team Heroes. So close to Thinkingnade clutching there, but he didn't do it. He came very close at the end there with Necrox's teleport, really opening it up for him there in terms of both getting a kill and being a distraction. And that you just have to be deflated if you're Team 6 in that situation, because you came so close. That was the round that was yours with Thinkingade's performance there, but it just wasn't enough.
And they really went in with their economy on that last round. So this round, at best, they're going to be able to pull together a couple of Spectres and some armor, maybe some Bulldogs or something like that. In fact, they're not buying anything. It is a hard eco for them. They're basically praying they win this round, and then they're going to... Okay, no, there we go. For some reason, my UI client wasn't working properly. Did you have that too? It popped up all pistols until half a second ago. Super awesome.
Yeah, Phantom Vandal and 2 Bulldogs right now on this end of the spectator.
I'm going to chalk it up to bait on this side because I saw 5 classic pistols and I was like, fine, they're just throwing in the towel. It's just done. But of course they are going to move forward here. So
very little choice but to do so. How will they make this push? We see Rampy wanting to get some flashes into A site. But really, Emongg, you know, last round we saw him back-to-back smoke this same area, really threatening Team 6, egging them on to come to him, and it's not worked in the past, but we will see Necrox get up his smokes of his own. They will try to push, Rampy will try to push into this lamps area. Carter with a frag. There we see Rampy answer back. What will happen here? There are 2 of Team Heroes sitting on the A site. Team 6 is sitting in the A site and have planted. Can Team Heroes retake here and even 4-on-4?
Well, there's 2 kills for Heroes. NVK does manage to snag Carter. The game is back to telling me everyone has classic pistols again, so thanks very much. Appreciate it. Thinkingnade, though, evens it up 2-2. There's a possibility, maybe we'll get a 10th round on the board. Gale gets the kill, though. The quickscope, oh my god, the defuse comes through at the last second. That's gonna be it. The clutch comes in. Wow, a 13-9 win for Heroes. Amazing. That was the closest we were gonna get to them finally